You ever wonder why you dominate workouts, but in games it feels like everything falls apart? That's not because you're a bad player. It's because no one has taught you how to make your training game realistic. Today, I'm giving you the exact system that makes your workout reps transfer straight into real games. In this video, you're going to learn why your moves disappear in games, the number one mistake players make in training, how to visualize defenders and reads the right way, how to turn drills into game decisions, how to build instincts that actually show up under pressure. If you don't know me, my name is Kevin Melson. I didn't start out as a great in-game performer. I was a classic workout warrior. I killed it in training, but I didn't know how to make the training transfer into the games. But once I did, I became the star of my high school team, went to junior college, became a junior college All-American, and had a 10-year professional basketball career. And today you're going to learn exactly how I transform my workouts to be more game realistic. The first thing you need to do is stop practicing moves and start practicing situations. You can master every move in the gym, but if you don't know when to use it, it won't show up in games. Players obsess over moves, combos, and aesthetics, but the games are controlled by decisions, timing, and spacing. That's why players with smaller bags often outperform more skilled hoopers. When I was younger, I used to do all of the dribbling drills, all the combo moves. I worked on all that stuff all the time. But it didn't translate to the games because I didn't know exactly when to use those or how effective they would be against real defenders. And that's why situations shape which moves become available. If a defender cuts you off, you might Euro step. If the help rotates early, I might kick out to their player. If they're chasing me over the screen, I might go all the way. And so the situations were more important than the actual drills and the actual moves. So a way to incorporate this into your training is if you have a trainer there with you, you can have them yell out verbal cues. So let's say you're practicing going off a pick and roll. He could yell out something like under the screen, and you pretend like the defense is going under your screen and what you would do in that situation. Or you might yell over the screen, or blitz when they trap the ball handler going off the screen. Different verbal cues to make you decide what you should do in each situation. Things like tight defender or something like that, or late help. Those verbal cues can improve how you process the game, how fast you process the game, and the faster you can recognize what's going on the court, the quicker you can make a decision on what to do or what you should do. Your moves don't need to be better. Your situational instincts do. Your moves don't need to change. Your decision-making practice does. A deeper breakdown of this is inside my basketball book, Basketball Mastery. You can purchase that. It'll be linked below. Visualize real defenders, not cones. Your handle isn't the problem. It's your imagination. Cones aren't meant to mimic defenders. They're placeholders for defensive positions. Your job is to bring them to life. When you see a cone, you should be visualizing how defenders rotate in real games. The help side sits in the gap. Shot blockers under the basket. The on-ball defender is trying to force you one way. These are things that you should be visualizing while you're going through your training. Every rep that you do in training, it should answer the question, what is the defender doing? When you do this, your brain is building game-ready neutral pathways so you can react without even having to think about it. And that's what mastery is. When you master these situations, you don't even have to think about it. You do it so fast that you don't have to use conscious energy and effort to think of what should I do. You already know because you've worked on it so much. Your imagination is your most valuable training partner, and it's free. Your handle is fine. It's your imagination that's weak. While you're going through drills and training, you should be asking yourself, where's the help coming from? Where's my teammates relocating to? Where's the shot blocker? Now your brain is practicing decision-making, not just going through the motions of doing a drill. You're training your brain to look for these things in the game. Your imagination is your most powerful training tool. Use it. Next, you want to train with game intensity. If the game feels fast, your training is too slow. Game intensity isn't max effort. It's realistic rhythm. Games have sprints, slowdowns, hesitations, and read. You may burst into an open space to get the ball for a pull-up shot. You could slow down into a step through. You may explode for one dribble, slow down into a floater. You could hesitate, cross over. You could change speeds, but you want to do it with game intensity. Practicing with game intensity is something that really helped me. I really saw my game take off because before I would train all the time, but I was going very slow, just going through the motions, catch and shoot, you know, Allen Iverson crossover, Tim Hardaway crossover. I was just going through the motions and not really going hard with game intensity. And I wasn't using my imagination at all. But once I start using my imagination to imagine defenders and where everyone would be on the court and going hard like I was in the game, I really saw my game take off when I started doing that. And that was around my senior year in high school. If you train slow, you will always play slower than the game demands. If your training pace is slow, your game pace will always feel fast. Game speed isn't about going 100%. It's about matching the pace, pressure, and the rhythm of real competition. Your drill should include acceleration, deceleration, finishing through contact, change of speeds, reading closeouts. When your body recognizes these things happen in the game, you'll be ready for them and you won't have to think or hesitate on what to do. The next thing you want to do is add pressure to your workouts. Confidence dies under pressure. If you never train under pressure, it'll be foreign to you once it happens in the game. Players practice to feel comfortable, but games are uncomfortable. Games are chaotic. And you can practice pressure even if you're by yourself. You can use things like a shot clock. You have 3 seconds to get the shot off. You can use fatigue. Run down and back before you go into the drill. Now make 2 free throws. Always have consequences with your training. Say you're doing pull-up jump shots and you're trying to make 8 out of 10. If you don't make 8 out of 10, then you have 2 down and backs, 2 sprints. Or you can do the thing that everyone loves to do. You can be down by 2 with 5 seconds left. Count it down. These are things that everybody has done as a kid and even as an adult. And all of these things that I just told you, they simulate pressure in the game. And the more you practice under pressure, the more you'll be used to it come game time. And once you practice under pressure, you won't panic in game time when that pressure comes upon you. Pressure in practice creates composure in game. You don't need defenders to simulate pressure. So when you're training, you want to add elements that force pressure into your training. Shot clocks, fatigue-based reps, consequences for misses. Your goal is to normalize chaos. And lastly, you want to practice recognizing where the defense is not. Most players attack people. Elite players, they attack space. Reading space is the foundation of in-game decision-making. When you're training, you want to look at the space, at the gaps. How far is the next defender from you? It may be a good opportunity for you to drive through these gaps. So you always want to look at gaps, where they are, how the defender in front of you is defending you. You also want to look at the help. Is there a shot blocker under the basket? Is he preoccupied with, somebody setting a screen or something like that? These are opportunities that you can look for where it may be advantageous for you to drive the basketball. You should also be looking for your teammates. Are they relocating to the corner? Where are they going? Are they cutting back door? You should know where the offense and the defense is every time you have the ball. And you should work on anticipating those things in practice so when the games come, you'll be ready for them. You should scan the floor before you catch the ball. Identify spaces. Before you attack, you should see everything that's going on. These are things that great players do. They attack space. They don't attack the defender in front of them. They look at the backline defense. Where's the help coming from? And what will my options be once I get there? They already know they can beat the person in front of them. And the moment you start seeing space, your whole game slows down and your skills finally show up. The game becomes much easier. Elite players attack space. Everyone else attacks the defender in front of them. Elite players read open lanes, shifting defenders, defensive momentum. So when you're training, you should ask yourself, is there space to drive? Is the help late? Is my defender off balance? These are the things you should be thinking about while you're training. This trains your instincts, the part of your game that shows up under pressure. The part of your game that you don't have to think about because you've trained it so much that it's all instincts once you get in the game. You don't have to think about doing it. You automatically do it. Your game improves instantly when you start seeing space instead of bodies. When you practice the right way with visualization, decisions, game speed, and pressure, your training becomes unshakable. You stop overthinking, your skills show up automatically. If you apply these today, you'll transform from a workout player to a real hooper. Now that you know how to make your training show up in the games, you might be wondering, what's next? You should check out this video right here. And once you apply all these techniques that I'm teaching you guys here on YouTube, you'll become unstoppable. All right, thanks for watching. My name is Kevin, and I'm out.